what. If Kevin Gray and Bobby Corralo don't shut up so we can do the show.
We have a show. It's live.
Oh, hey, everybody. Welcome into today's DLLS Cowboys podcast. Kellen Moore has officially entered the Cowboys coaching search.
Oh, man.
Reporting fuel on the prime time fire. Let's get to the bottom of all of it right now. Wow. Clarence Hill's trying to derail the show before it even gets started. Welcome in to today's DLLS Cowboys podcast, where we are hot and heavy into a Cowboys coaching search, and maybe they're not behind at all. We got all the names in the mix. We're having ourselves a time. We'll get you the very latest on all of it throughout the show, and then I might break out a mock draft Thursday in the last segment. What about that? My name is Jeff. I'm seated next to a hell of a human. A fine American.
Come on.
One of the greatest wide receivers to ever play at North Carolina.
Yeah, and Roselle.
And Roselle, Jesse Holley.
Oh, Jesse Holley went 77 yards. It must be a reality show.
78 would have been better. Next to Jesse. Although very unselfish to let Dan Bailey get his shine on. Next to Jesse is a guy who was really mean to Jesse when he got released from the Cowboys, referred to him as Mr. Fourth and Gone. It's Clarence Hill.
It was a play on words. It was funny. Shout out to the AKs.
It's a bar.
Celebrate your Founders Day last night. Great time.
What's that
time?
Great time. How I love those AKAs. You celebrated with them last night?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
See, you don't invite me to the right stuff. You don't invite me to the right stuff, man. You want to invite me.
Next time
you want to invite me to the smelly bar to talk sports, but you don't want to invite me to hang out with the AKAs. You know what? You're a selfish dude, man.
No, it was last minute. You don't
want no competition in there. Okay. You don't be moving that way. Dude, man. You are one selfish dude, man.
I got you.
I said, we boys. This is supposed to be us.
I got you. Next time.
He want me to come to a stinky, smelly bar to talk sports with him and some other frat brothers. But when the AKAs are in town, they strutting and strolling and looking good.
They was strutting and
looking good, and they pink and green. OJ Holly don't get a call. I love it. You know I love the AKAs, but I don't get a call.
I didn't know that. Now I know.
Continue the show. Man.
Now I know.
Congratulations to the also known as's.
That's what I was thinking too.
Next to Clarence is the greatest beat writer in the history of the Cowboys. Takes his job a little more seriously. Was not out partying with whatever the AKAs are. He was at home, married, working. Joe Hoyt.
Tell him something, Joe.
I got two gifts. One, I got a gift for you. If you subscribe to the DLLS Digest, which is our newsletter, and you guess correctly the right Dallas Cowboys head coach, I'm going to pick one of you. I'm going to give you a free T-shirt. And then I also have a gift for Clarence.
What?
Hell yeah. Last time it was an A&M hat.
Last night it was an A&M hat.
These guns don't come with the T-shirt he giving away.
It's not.
I mean, sir.
You had a good workout this morning, didn't you?
Look at this. Joe is a nice guy.
The cup appears to be a cup.
If I can get through this thing.
Unlike you. Joe thinks about you.
I think about Joe all the time. Don't do that.
About me.
I do think about you.
An actual gift for Clarence this time.
What does that say?
So you can get this. Where can you get this?
You can get this on the DLLS merch store.
Well, look at these plugs. What does it say on there? What
It's long.
Your fingers is all over the words. What does it say?
I'm sorry.
All the live long day.
Yeah.
I've been brushing on a longhorn all the live long day.
All right.
Just wrong.
That's not a good song?
No, you was trying to play.
So subscribe to the newsletter.
Please hit the like button and make sure that you're subscribed. 19 likes 4 minutes in is unacceptable. I demand it be at 74 before the segment ends. We do have a super chat from our buddy JJ right off the bat. Taking a break from my schedule to pop on here and hear some news. Always a great time on DLLS. Look, checks in the mail, bro. Appreciate you. And look at all the reactions from people before we've even talked about things.
Kellen Moore.
I'm on George. Shout out to the AKs. He knows what we're talking about.
I don't. Kellen Moore, I hate it. Deion Sanders, baby. Yeah, I want to talk about Deion.
Let's do it.
Not yet.
Oh,
I was
not
told
yet.
I'm not live yet.
Sorry, my bad.
Segment
two.
My bad.
Not yet.
Guys, I want to talk about Deion.
I know, but just get to the first segment like we worked.
Let's get
on.
to the new news.
Like, remember how we huddled
Let's
up
get to an actual
around
game.
that long
No.
table before here?
Let's get to the new
Nobody
news.
cares about winning. We're here for fun.
No, we're here for winning.
Oh, well, I don't know if this is going to help, but Kellen Moore is officially on the docket. The Cowboys have officially requested to interview Kellen Moore. Now, can the Eagles shoot him down like the Cowboys were doing to people?
No, what I understand is that
Oh.
Kellen Moore will interview on Saturday. Virtual interview on Saturday. No more than 3 hours. They have to get it done before the playoff game, or they couldn't talk to him until after the season was over if they got to the Super Bowl. So they need to get it in. They have to shoehorn this Kellen Moore interview in on Saturday just to reset everything. They're going to interview Robert Saleh on Saturday.
Okay.
Have interviews scheduled for Leslie Frazier on Monday. And today it's become apparent that they're going to interview Kellen Moore on Saturday as well, a 3-hour virtual interview.
Okay. I've got an idea of how the Kellen one goes. Are you guys ready?
Let's hear it.
Kellen, I remember you, and you were here, and you were, and it was good. And I know you and Dak, and you do, and Dad, and you guys. And I was thinking we could bring in Witt. And you remember when I hired you, and then brought in Mike, Big Mike. And I told him that you were going to be here, and we knew you were going to be here. And you remember when I did with Garrett, he was brought in, and everybody knew that I was going to eventually fire somebody, make him coach. I want to bring in Witt, and after about 2 years, we're going to fire you, and Jason's going to be ready to take this thing over. What do you think about that? 2 years, head coach Cowboys.
That's my gut of how this thing goes, is that Jerry could hire Kellen Moore.
I couldn't hear him. Could y'all hear him?
That's perfect. That's why you got to be on the mic, though. The mic could hear me.
Okay, they can hear you now because
Okay, I think.
I could barely hear you.
Let me
you know
know if
what
y'all
he
can
said.
hear me.
Oh, I know what he said. It sounded good. I just want to make sure they heard you.
Yeah.
You had that low Jerry Jones voice.
Well, that's why we tell you not to do this, because then they couldn't.
If you get right on this,
Get right
I
on
can
it?
hear you just
You
fine.
get right on it?
Just fine. I get right on it.
Get right on the mic like
Sometimes
that?
two-handed.
Sir. You're trying to be a meme again. You're trying to be a meme again.
I love being a meme.
You want to be a meme?
I love the great Greg Williams once told me.
The bounty hunter?
Yeah, I was
Greg
gonna
Williams?
say, yeah.
No,
The DC?
no.
The
Rock-
DC?
no, Grego.
Grego, he used to do sports radio in this
Old
town.
school radio.
When I was making $10 an hour, working about 19 hours a week, so I was balling. He told me there's a couple things in this arena that you need. You got to have a bit, and you got to have some shtick. So you just got to have some fun.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to have some fun. Leslie Frazier, Kellen Moore, Robert Saleh. Thoughts?
I'll say this: I'm not a reporter, or breaking news is like for like Joe and Clarence, but I actually got a text and a phone call this morning from two separate people.
Hold on, Jesse. Come here.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was
Bro,
gonna say-
Jesse out here getting
This is
scooped.
Scoop City, dude.
I'm just saying.
Scoops.
But that Kellen Moore is calling around trying to build a staff, and that goes to his interview. Most of the time when you go into an interview, you want to be able to tell your potential employer that, hey, here's the staff that I'm bringing. Here's my potential staff that I am bringing. So I can confirm from two different positions, will be position coaches, that Kellen has called and is inquiring about information. Would they be interested in joining his staff?
Yeah, and he's also called some former Cowboy assistants that he worked with here about being a part of his staff.
But also, don't try to one up me.
I'm not.
Just let my scoop slide. You know what I'm saying?
I'm adding to
You know what I'm saying?
it.
Like, don't
I'm piggybacking.
I got this. I
Don't
got it.
Piggybacking.
What's up,
Guys.
man? What's you got it out for me today? You didn't invite me. Like I'm taking offense to that. Now you trying to up scoop my scoop.
I'm piggybacking.
Jesse.
I'm adding to.
Everybody stop. I got this.
I'm advancing the
Everybody stop
conversation.
this. Jesse, I want to thank you on behalf of Cowboys Nation.
I appreciate you.
for that big ass scoop
Thank you, man.
that you just
Thank
gave
you, man.
everybody. And
Thank you.
Clarence,
Thank you.
thanks for the little tiny sprinkles you put on top.
We
That was
got
fine
some
too.
sprinkles on top. It's
That was
okay.
fine.
But
Thank you for that cake you baked.
Yeah.
And thanks for that little.
You got to put some icing on
Icing
top.
on it.
Yeah, can I
Icing
put a
on-
cherry of speculation though too on top?
We go
Little cherry?
Cherry speculation.
Oh, hold
Little
on.
cherry
Tommy
spe-
Topper's in the building.
Yeah, what do you
got?
got? Little cherry speculation. Yeah, you're trying to get your staff together to present to Jerry Jones and co. But they might also have an idea of what they want you to have as well.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
So, and I think that that's part of the Kellen Moore equation as well, and that's why you interview, is because you can kind of see where each other at and see where the vision is.
And taking it to the next level, which is why.
Oh, a cherry on top of a cherry?
Oh, wow. So neither of you made a good point. Clarence is going to help you guys out.
No. They make great points.
Oh,
But I'm taking it to another direction, which is why there's something rotten in Denmark.
I'm sorry.
Come again?
Something rotten. You never heard of the phrase "something rotten in Denmark"?
Is this from when we stormed the beach of Normandy, or when did this phrase come out?
Is this a black and white movie?
Yeah, this whole process stinks. Okay, an organization that's had
I don't know what happened in Denmark.
rotten in Denmark. Just Google it.
I'm on
Anyway, an organization that has had just 2 black coordinators in their history, and Brian Stewart under Wade Phillips and Maurice Carthon under Bill Parcells. The first 2 guys that they interview are minority candidates. And we're talking about an organization that has a history of skirting the Rooney Rule.
I think it's probably their 2 favorite candidates.
See, history of skirting the Rooney Rule, okay? When they hired Bill Parcells, did a phone interview with Dennis Green. Hey, Dennis, want to talk to this job? Okay, so I can hire Bill Parcells.
They are who we thought they were.
You know,
and we let them off the hook.
when they hired Wade Phillips, Mike McCarthy, they brought in Marvin Lewis, who nobody else was interviewing at the time.
I don't have a Marvin quote ready for you.
You know,
Go Bengals.
are they skirting the Rooney Rule here with these initial interviews so they can get the guy they want? Kind of do what the Patriots did. And what I'm saying is, when you talk about maybe they're just interviewing these other guys to be defensive coordinators for Kellen Moore. You know, maybe they're looking at Robert Saleh, and I'm going to kill 2 birds. Yeah, I'm talking for the head coaching job, but really, I'm trying to help Kellen Moore build a staff. You know, so is it a legitimate head coaching interview? So the Cowboys' history makes me wonder what their real motive is with these initial interviews, because Robert Saleh is a legitimate candidate. He's got interviews with the Raiders. He got interviews with the Jaguars.
Yep.
Nobody's talking about Leslie Frazier. How do you pull Leslie Frazier out of the mix here and bring him in for a head coaching
Because I need
interviews?
a second one.
Because you need a second minority interview, right?
I need a
Like
second
the
one.
rules have changed. You need 2 in-person minority interviews. And now all of a sudden here is Leslie Frazier, again, who was the head coach of the Vikings from 2010 to 2013, has not gotten any other head coaching jobs. Most recently, he was the defensive coordinator for the Bills from 2017 to 2022. He got fired. He was out of coaching in 2023, and now he is the assistant head coach in Seattle because they wanted a veteran to be there with the young guy, Mike McDonald, in his first year head coach. But to just pull him out of nowhere to be a head coaching candidate, that stinks.
Yeah, and he's made it known that he wants to get back into head coaching and to be a part of a cycle, and this is his first head coaching interview this
Yeah,
cycle.
he's 65.
He's 65 years old.
Yeah, and he has the rare. I shouldn't say this.
Don't say it.
Okay.
Solo shot?
I think Kellen's gonna get the job. I'll just skip over the other thing.
Yeah, but the thing I'll get you.
What I'm saying is,
let me say what
when
I'm
you
gonna
get to
say.
65,
Okay.
my people tend to look old as hell. Leslie Frazier has pulled that off as a black man.
Really,
and black
he pulled-
don't crack, but
Okay,
he
I'm
looks
gonna say- I'm
old.
gonna say-
Is this back to the facial thing?
Yeah. Like I looked him up and I was like, damn. Like that's how old a 65-year-old white guy usually looks. He manages to look old, and that's harder.
Oh, he looks old.
Yeah, he looks old.
So his
Leslie
black,
Frazier?
black cracked.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's rare.
Who, Leslie Frazier looks old?
Yeah. The one picture I saw. We were doing a whole facial profiling thing this morning where we were looking through all of the candidates because I do have
we
the
rank
theory
them?
that you need to, like, I can see on your face if you're a head coach. And Leslie's got coach. He's coach.
Yeah.
He's got a coach there. But I was just like, damn. Pete Carroll looks younger than that, and he's like 150.
Pete Carroll looks great.
Yeah.
It's the chewing gum. It kind of keeps your jaw tight. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's the
that's
chew-
why I dip, is to keep my jaw tight, keep
you
exercising.
chew, but like you chew your dip?
I mean, I might
So you-
move a little bit.
When you're doing this, just
I'll
sits
move
there,
around.
you know?
I think Kellen Moore's going to get the job. What do you guys think?
I think we should go to Super Chats.
Oh, we got Super Chats.
Whoa.
Dirk, just cause. I like
Appreciate
that.
you, brother. We like that.
I like that. And I
Yeah.
like shout out guys from Vancouver, Canada.
Appreciate you.
Oh,
Appreciate
I love
you.
that.
Congratulations. I heard you're soon going to be our 51st state.
Oh, man,
Canada.
don't do him like that. Don't do him like that. Don't do him like that. So
Only
going to
go
be
to
the Gulf for Canada too?
Sorry, I don't like. I
Gulf
don't.
America,
The Gulf of America.
I don't politic much, but when I saw on the internet that we were going to pick up Canada, I was like, oh, that's big.
That's a good commit. 5-star recruit.
That's a lot of fish.
Now, I said all that about the dirty pool with the Rooney Rule
Yeah.
and the Cowboys.
But
What about Deion Sanders?
let's talk about it.
Clarence!
Let's talk about
Oh
it.
my God!
Let's talk about it.
That's a professional tease right there.
Hit the like and subscribe button while you're
I
here.
got you. Yeah, I got
I would
you.
love to have 100 likes before we return. And we only talk for like 90 seconds, give or take. So, you got a lot of content coming. And the Deion thing, ooh, there's fuel to this fire. It's next.
And do I have the perfect gift for your fan enthusiast of your love life, of your family, of just maybe a coworker? Head on over to iceshaker.com and you can get one of these officially licensed protein shaker. I had this little thing right here. You put this thing on there. You put your protein in there. You put your beverage of choice in there. You think that thing like that.
Like a Polaroid.
And you shake
picture.
that thing all about. All you got to do is head to iceshaker.com, put in our promo code ALLCITY25, and you get 25% off a purchase of one of these beautiful, beautiful cats. You don't have to be Cowboys. They're official license in baseball, in hockey, in college, in the NFL, in the NBA, everywhere. You can get one, and then you can go online and you can put your own touch of it. Don't got to be a sports theme. You might be an AKA. You can go and make yours pink and green. You could be a Delta. You can make yours red and white. You could be whatever sorority or fraternity that you're in. Head over to iceshaker.com, use the promo code ALLCITY25 and get 25% off.
Yes, and when you and your sorority or your fraternity want to go to a game, download the Game Time app. It's great. It's great. I mean, you can use it right now to buy tickets for something that's a ways away, but it also comes through in the clutch. If you want to get last-minute tickets, you want to hit up our friends at Game Time. Download the Game Time app on your phone, and then know that with the promo code DLLS, you'll get $20 off your first purchase when you use the Game Time app to buy seats. They've got all-in pricing, so you can toggle that on, and you'll see right there up front, no surprise fees at checkout. You'll see the entire price right there, bang, because I know that's one of the things that can be tough when you're trying to buy them tickets. You're like, yep, that'll be a $9 ticket. And then it's like, pow, $7,312 with the fee. Just use the Game Time app. Get the all-in pricing, and you'll know what you're actually going to pay right away. You can get the seat views, panoramic view from your seat right there before you buy. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets. Download the Game Time app. Use the code DLLS. That'll get you $20 off your first purchase. Use that code DLLS. Katia, what do you... Oh, Clarence,
No, that's what I'm saying.
Clarence was on his phone during the break?
Yeah.
That's okay. He wasn't on camera, was he?
Yeah, when he sees snow.
Katia's not on her A game today, and I want the world to know that. Normally,
Whoa.
A plus. Today,
It laughed at last
C.
week.
Not only has that happened, she has been bitten by the Clarence Hill
That's
Pop
right.
Pop snack bug.
Oh yeah,
The snacking virus.
Y'all want to have the curtain pulled back?
Oh.
Before the show, it's Jeff's job to make sure we fire off a tweet from the DLLS Cowboys Twitter account, okay? I need the thumbnail, which is a little picture thingy, and I need the YouTube link. 5 minutes before the show, my alarm goes off 10 minutes before the show, and it's always in there waiting for me because Katia's on her P's and Q's. Today, my alarm goes off, and I forgot about it. 3 minutes later, Jesse reminds me, and so I'm getting ready to do it, and it's not in there. And Katia says, oh, yeah, my bad. I'm snacking.
Yeah. At
The smell of
11 o'clock in the
Doritos.
morning, she's eating Doritos. And don't think I didn't see you back there, Katia. I saw you with the candy. I saw you with the candy back there. I saw you with the candy back there, Kit Kat. Don't let the spirit of Pop Pop rub off on you. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, you don't try to have the positive with it now. I had a protein shake, but you had a bag of Doritos and nerd rope.
You do the positives so you can do the negatives.
Yeah.
Are you guys ready for the good news of the day?
Yes.
Let them roll.
Ed Werder, one of the most respected journalists of all time. Nay, the most respected journalist in the history of the Cowboys, Ed Werder. Right after Clarence. Tied with Joe. Tweets out this morning. Regarding Deion Sanders, I'm being told that he would almost certainly accept if Jerry Jones offers to make him the next Cowboys head coach. And actually, he did hashtag Cowboys because Ed's hip to game. He knows how to tweet. Would almost certainly accept if Jerry Jones offers to make him the next Cowboys head coach, that those around him are encouraging him to pursue it, and that Jones is enamored. with the idea.
Can you read that first sentence again, and I'll tell you when to stop.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Please.
I'm being told, regarding Deion Sanders, I'm
Stop.
being told that he would almost certainly accept if Jerry Jones offers.
Stop. You could insert whatever name you want in that first sentence. If you say,
On my show with Brian Bars today, he said Mike Zimmer would take the head coaching job if offered.
okay, say another name.
Jesse
Another coaching
Holley.
name. Jesse Holley will accept the coaching job.
I would not.
If
Yes,
if,
no.
if offered
At $10 million
Joe
a
Hoyt,
year,
I would not.
$18 million a year.
I don't have to. No,
I'm talking to Jeff. He said no.
You can give me. You can
I'm
give me Mike
insecure
McCarthy
enough that I
Monday.
know how
200K.
bad it would be.
Jerry, I'll do it for 200K.
Yeah, you insert take the first part of that and insert
Right.
anybody who has a beating heart and understands X's and O's a little bit. If Jerry offers them the job, you're damn right they're taking it. So I'm not crapping on Ed. I'm not crapping on Ed's report. I'm not crapping on the Deion report.
Ed
'cause I
Werder,
know
one of the
that
most
you're-
respected
I
journalists
know
of
how
all
excited
time,
you are
Yeah.
about the Deion situation.
who
But-
did a lot of work to get this information.
But you name again,
Wanye Thomas.
we'll accept the job.
Okay.
We'll accept the job.
Les-
Mike
Les-
McCarthy.
Leslie Frazier will accept the job.
Accept the job.
Who?
Robert
Les-
Saleh.
Leslie Frazier.
Accept the job. You name
Macaulay
Mark Colombo,
Culkin.
Jason Witten, Macaulay Culkin. I don't know if he knows football.
Josh
I-
Hamilton.
I
Wait, you
know.
don't have to know
I
to
don't
take
know.
the money, right?
Well, Josh. I don't know. I don't know about Josh. I don't know if we want Josh in that position.
Jason
John
Garrett.
Jason Garrett.
What
would
if they
take
brought
him
back
out.
Garrett? Boy, we were
Don't think
just.
I ain't thinking about it.
we're
I'm
so
just saying.
impressed.
I'm not poo-pooing on it, but I'm just saying.
And I'm not going to poo-poo on it either, but I talked to someone else that's close to Deion, who had conversation with Deion as recently as yesterday. And he said when he talked to Deion, he didn't talk anything about the Cowboys. He only talked about
when you say he talked to Deion, you mean Jerry?
the person, somebody else who is very close to Deion, one of his former teammates.
Right, but you're
Uche.
saying he is who? He is Jerry that talked to Deion?
No, when this
Oh, when
person
I got
talked
you.
to Deion yesterday,
I got you.
yesterday,
I got you.
he said he didn't talk anything. He only talked about Colorado, the kids in Colorado, Travis Hunter and what he's going through. He talked about, obviously there's a deal on the table with Colorado, and he's trying to examine his future and see if they're going to do everything he needs them to do for his future. But he did not mention the Cowboys. He said he talked to him for a few hours yesterday. It wasn't just like a 5-minute phone call. And so this is someone that's really close to Deion. Again, as I was talking to someone else, I would never say never with Deion, but everything he's talked about has been about coaching college kids and impacting young men. And one other thing that we have to understand is that, yes, Deion and Jerry are a chummy relationship, but they're the same person, okay?
Mhm.
Deion is a dictator, and he
They're both
wants
ambitious black men.
he wants the final say on everything, okay? He wants the final say on everything. Jerry wants the final say. I don't know how that works.
Yeah. Can I one more nugget? No, you go
If
ahead.
it goes the same way that these two guys went, go ahead. What
No,
do you
it's
got?
just,
go add a nugget.
Yeah, one more thing. We talk about Ben Johnson's requirements and why that wouldn't work with Jerry Jones. You think Deion Sanders wouldn't have requirements for what he wants as head coach?
Yeah.
You go ahead, Jeff.
Do y'all remember when we were sitting down and getting ready to do the show, and I was
Mm-hmm.
like, guys, Deion. And Jesse was like, well, yeah, we're going to kind of talk about the breaking news first. We kind of talk about a little bit of Deion stuff second. And I was like, yeah, but Deion.
Mhm.
And then, we got to the part where we got to talk about Deion. And, you went poo-poo, poo-poo, poo-poo.
Cherry on top,
So
poo-poo.
now what am I, I wanted to have fun. I was so excited.
Have fun.
I
Go.
was so
Have
excited.
You know
I was
what-
so excited.
You know what will be fun?
I was so
If
excited.
Deion
It better
left-
be fun.
It better be fun.
If Deion left Colorado,
Yeah.
the mess in
Yeah.
Colorado.
Yeah.
I mean, that whole thing, and that's the thing, the whole Colorado operation is built around Deion.
Yep.
And so
And to your point, Deion has never left anything in a mess.
I'm just saying that college.
Facts. Facts.
I need you to stop. That whole Colorado operation is built around Deion, okay? And so Rick George, the AD, he has to do whatever he can to keep Deion. Because if Deion leaves, those players are leaving, running out there like roaches when the lights come on. They're scattering. I don't know if you probably ain't never seen roaches, but anyway, when you cut the light on,
My house was built in 1960. I see. I see
you
a
know,
roach about every
they
third
are
week.
running up out of there. Okay, all those 5-star athletes, everything that's done in Colorado now is catered toward Deion. There's no way you can find anyone to replace him to keep that thing together. They have to do whatever it takes, meet his financial needs to keep him there.
But to go back to the if,
And so that would be
like
fun.
if Jerry offered Deion Sanders the head coaching job, that stuff ain't his problem.
Yeah.
No.
No, it's not. I'm saying
I'm
Colorado.
not going to
would
be
have-
the head coach of the MFing Dallas Cowboys.
No, it's not Deion. I said that's why Colorado would do whatever
Right.
it takes to keep him. One other caveat here is that when we watch college coaches take jobs, it's usually the interview is done in the cover of the night. Then all of a sudden, next morning, his job and he's leaving and haven't told the players. With this NFL thing, we have to go through these hiring interview processes and everything else. That's just not a smooth thing for a college coach to take an NFL job without going through these hiring processes. I don't know from the recruiting, it would just be an ugly mess.
Once you fulfilled your rules, though, like in
Yeah.
theory, I'm just talking totally in theory here, and I don't know. Jerry could hire Deion without
Do an interview.
an announced interview, right?
Yeah.
Like, no, I know Deion. I've seen him coach. We talked.
Good.
Like,
Yeah.
he's my coach. The end. Like,
So-
Shedeur was in Dallas the other night. I mean,
I'm
like,
tr-
they
I'm
could just be here chilling.
I'm trying to have fun. Do you know how deflated people are going to be when Kellen Moore is the head coach? And it might
Oh,
work out
deflated.
great. He and Dak had a really nice offense together.
Kellen Moore
It
and
might
Robert
work great.
Saleh, you wouldn't sign up for that?
I think it's fine. I facially profile coaches.
Yeah.
Kellen don't have a coach face.
Is he your last in your ranking of the candidates right now?
Yeah. If you're facially profiling your head coach candidates, like Salah's up there.
Yeah.
Like
That's a man.
Like outside of the circus that you have been clamoring for, and
Yeah.
it'll be great for business for us.
Yeah.
All our mortgages will be paid if Deion comes here.
I got a lot
we,
left.
We won't, I'm just not saying. I didn't say paid off. I said just we'll
okay.
be able to pay it.
Okay, yeah.
Every month.
I got the pool still. People who are on my channel know that we got a pool fund we work at every night. I go live every night, and people will donate, and they'll be like, pool fund, because they know that was financed.
Someone commented on that, and I was like, what is that?
Yeah,
Now I know.
I got a pool fund.
But what does Deion bring? Because
I kind of wanted to pose that question after having the fun of just cheering for it for content purposes, because I mean, I think Deion has head coach attributes.
Yeah.
I think that he has leadership ability. I think he has ability to connect and care about people. Like, I think he has a lot of those things. It seems to me that those things that he has would play better with the 19 to 21, 22-year-old than with the 23 to 33-year-old, I think. But Mike McCarthy just left, and audio that we played of Micah Parsons, he was like, oh, yeah, he was like a father. And, like, it's not like that element of being the head coach goes away when you're with the pros.
Anytime you start a conversation with a family, stuff like that, well, that's fluff. That's the nice thing to say, right? Like, you ever see somebody, they start struggling, they're like, I'm just gonna go home to my family, and I'm just gonna, my family loves me. And
I think normally for me, and they might not click the same for you because we're just different people, that's how I view the God thing. Like, people after they lose, if they immediately go to, here's the thing.
Right.
God's will, and he's got me.
100%.
I'm like, man, you're in a bad spot, huh?
100%.
Micah does that.
That is along the lines of that. When you go God, family, God, and you start talking about how
that game didn't go good.
So much more life is so much more important than what we do with
if
this
this
game.
is the worst day of my life,
Romo.
Shout out to Romo. But that is along those lines. So when people say that, I looked at that Micah, I was like, oh, okay. So Micah is just trying to say really nice things about Mike because he doesn't want to come off as being the bad guy.
Right, because he's already come off as being the bad guy when he crapped on Mike before, when he was trying to
accidentally
crapped on Mike. So now he's going the other way and talk about how great Mike is.
Mike is so perfect for content too, because he does not formulate his thoughts well all the time. And sometimes he'll accidentally leave out a word or two. Like, I once texted Joe and I was like, hey, I think you left out a word in your tweet. And he's like, no, that's what he said. Yeah. Like, I know it reads as the exact opposite of what he meant, but he just kind of skipped a word, but he loves to talk.
Yeah.
And so Mike is fun.
And getting back to the father figure thing, I think that Deion is an iron-fisted father figure than what Mike
that sounds
McCarthy's
great. Jerry
been.
can hug him after
Yeah,
Deion
I'm just
punches
saying,
him.
Deion, I mean, I'm just telling you, the way he handles those Colorado players, I don't know how that plays in a professional locker room.
But Jerry Jones has a lot of admiration for what Dan Campbell's built there too, and I think that maybe Deion Sanders could actually have a Dan Campbell-like effect.
And
No, he's the leader. Just who's his offensive defensive coordinator?
Jerry can pick him.
Kellen Moore.
Kellen Moore and Robert Saleh.
Kellen Moore, Robert Saleh, Deion head coach.
Oh, there it is.
Fixed.
Jerry's.
Let's do it.
We just fixed the Cowboys.
Let's do it.
Jason Witten, tight ends coach.
I don't know. Deion might be a good NFL head coach. I don't know. I mean, yeah, to your point, Dan Campbell is, and he ain't calling the offensive or defensive plays. Like
I think they're similar.
he's leading people.
I think they're similar.
I want Deion just because I'm on Team Jerry from now on. I've yelled at him enough. Jerry, we are aligned. How much money can we make? How many eyeballs can we get? Let's get it, brother. Me and you. 11-6 would be great. Stay relevant. Make the playoffs. Not be a threat to win it, but that's cool. I bet we get 6 million more viewers than some other teams in the playoffs. Me and you, brother. We're in this thing. Let's go get Deion. Coming up next, Jonah Javad from WFAA is going to join us, and we will continue having some fun with the Cowboys coaching search on the DLLS Cowboys podcast.
This football season is coming to an end, and we're getting close to that draft season, so why not? Head on out to the East-West Shrine game right here at AT&T Stadium. The East-West Shrine Bowl has served as a starting point for many noteworthy NFL careers, including 80 members of the Pro Football Hall of Fame and more than 200 members of the College Football Hall of Fame. Right now, tickets starting at just $20. If you use the promo code DLLS when purchasing 2 or more tickets, you receive 50% off.
That's BOGO action.
That's a good action. Like, you're going to the game, don't go by yourself.
No.
Bring a buddy. Bring a shorty. Bring a kid.
Get 10 people.
Get 10, 20 people. Find some kids in the neighborhood. Go get a little football team, whatever it is. But head on over to shrinebowl.com to buy your tickets today. We will all be there. You may run into one of us while you're at the Shrine Bowl. So get your tickets today. Use the promo code DLLS. Buy 2 or more tickets. Get 50% off. Visit shrinebowl.com to buy your tickets. Meow.
I don't think you can place a contest during the Shrine Bowl on Sleeper, although maybe it would be fun if you could. Just pick the college kid that you don't know all that much about. Be like, I bet he's going more than that passing yards. But Sleeper is an app that I spend entirely too much time on. It's a lot of fun. You can do it with any sport. It's not just for football things, although you could use it this divisional round weekend. All you got to do is you make your picks. It's your daily fantasy. You're making picks of, do I believe that this player is going to have more or less than his projected stats in this game? Passing yards, touchdowns, rushing yards, receptions, flip on over to basketball, points, rebounds, assists, whatever. Get you some saves in hockey. And then you combine those picks. The more picks you combine, the more you can win, all the way up to 100 times your money. So if you think you got what it takes, new users can download the Sleeper app, use the code DLLSBOYS, and you'll get $55 in free entries when you place a $5 contest. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Operational in over 25 states, including this one. All right. I'm going to catch up with Jonah. Jonah's one of my favorites. Jonah, WFA. I got to tell you, not only is he a handsome man, which is obvious because he does TV, the hair game is fire.
Yeah.
The facial hair game is fire. And he brings personality and insight on top of just being handsome. So I'm like, okay, he's not just hot. He earned the job.
Hot? You think he trims his own beard, or does he let the barber do it?
I think that he is. I mean, it looks barber done, but I think he is that attention to detail that he does it himself. Hello, Jonah Javad.
You called a man hot. You called another man hot.
Oh, I am that secure. Yes.
Could he be the next head coach of the Cowboys with a facial?
If offered.
Offered?
That face might be too young.
Would you call a man hot?
It has authority, though. Hey, Jonah.
Hey, fellas. Thanks for the compliments.
You're welcome.
Here's a great question for you. I'll send it to Jeff. Do you know who cuts my hair? As in this part, not the beard, but this stuff.
You are not gonna tell me that you do, or are you married like your wife does, or your mom?
I've been cutting my own hair since I was 16 years old.
Stop it,
bro! You got to send me a
With
video.
one of those $30 clippers from Walgreens. Yeah.
So what do you just do like a 1 or a 0 on the sides, and you stop a certain point up?
Every time it's a little bit different, and it's probably why I'm losing a bunch of hair on the top of my head.
Oh.
Some days are good, yeah. Some days are good. Some days are bad. I recommend not doing it after a few beers.
Get some Fireball.
Yeah,
who does your face?
Who does
the beard?
Who does your face?
Oh, you got to do your own beard. That's pretty easy.
Okay, so you do everything. You do your hair and your beard. Okay.
You think
And
it's
he can
easy?
pass.
Not me.
I have a problem on each side to try to figure out like where exactly am I going to. It's not like there's landmarks, and I don't know if I've got it right every time.
It's tough. Not all facial hair is symmetrical either, right? You might be patchy and all that. I don't know. I mean, I've never gone for like a clean lineup before. Maybe I should try, but I just think it might look weird on me.
Jonah, if you were offered the Cowboys head coaching job, would you accept it?
Absolutely not.
Oh.
No way.
Cap.
That's just
$18 million a year.
all right. Chill. Are we? Why don't we bypass the money aspect? If it's for money strictly, sure. But I think we're speaking in hypotheticals of, is it a coveted job for, what the role is? And how could it be? I mean, you're basically a glorified puppet, right? Because you got Jerry up top, and he's just playing all the strings, and you just kind of go out there every week, do your press conference, hope your players play the game, and you kind of get blamed, and you're damned if you do and damned if you don't. Maybe that's like a lot of jobs in America where you're just kind of an employee and the boss kind of dictates a lot of the stuff that you do and your success and your failures. But, I would try to find a job that has a little bit more autonomy and, somewhere where you are empowered. And I just don't feel like the Cowboys head coaching job has ever been a position where that person has been empowered since Jimmy Johnson. So
Bill Parcells?
He needed to get a building built.
maybe
Kind of.
Parcells. Yeah, I guess maybe Parcells.
Although they did fight about the Ware draft.
They fought, but
With the Cowboys coaching search, from the perspective of you do TV, like from the perspective of I do this, I quit. Like I quit on here's how we're going to win Super Bowls. I'm here for the content. So like from the perspective of your job, would you think that Deion would be an awesome hire? And from the perspective of your sports opinion, is there a candidate you've heard that you think makes the most sense to try to win at football?
I think for what we do in terms of sports entertainment, Deion's got to be A1, right? And for the million reasons. Now, it won't be as fun covering this team on a day-to-day basis as Joe and all y'all and Clarence can attest to. It will be an absolute mess in those press conference rooms and locker rooms every week. But that comes with the territory of covering America's team. But yeah, I mean, in terms of viewership and interest and clicks and always being a headline, it would be the Cowboys nightly. And how many times do we have to say that this is what Jerry wants? 365 days a year. It's a soap opera. So from that standpoint, yeah, it would be a lot of fun. And we would just kind of, suit up like it's a snowstorm and just kind of go into the fire. And from actual tangible wins, I'm not as convinced. And I know that Deion's kind of won at, the two college levels he's been at. I'm a little bit more skeptical. Not to say that he can't, but I think somebody like Robert Saleh, who didn't really get a clean, fair shake with the Jets, I think he would be an intriguing option. And Kellen Moore, I'm not. That to me feels like a retread. It just feels like exactly what the Cowboys have done as of late. But yeah, I mean, I like Saleh a lot.
Jonah, we did this the other day, but I'm curious to see what you have to say about this. From your personal perspective, what are 3 characteristics that you would want or need in the Cowboys' next head coach?
If you need a second to think about it, I went with a bearded lady, a small person with a helmet being loaded in a cannon, and a sword swallower because I wanted the whole circus. I was just campaigning for Deion, but you can do your own.
An enormous elephant.
Yeah.
I think one of them's got to be just kind of dynamic. That force that person walks into the locker room and they just command attention and respect immediately. And that really goes for any head coach in any sport. That's kind of what you want, is that instant credibility, that instant you're leading all these young men who make millions of dollars. You're going to need to have some sort of personality and dynamicism about you that keeps them engaged. So that would be one. Two would be ability to, I would say, how do I put this? Maybe lack of ego. It's a hard job to have a huge ego and to step into that role because the guy who pays your bills has the biggest ego of them all. And also, sometimes as a head coach in football, you need to be able to hand out responsibility to other people and other coordinators and be able to say, okay, you guys go do your jobs. I'll manage the team. I'll keep the culture in check. But, if you're a creative play caller, go call plays. If you run a certain defense that can get after the QB, you do that. So I'd say checking ego at the door. And three would be somebody that keeps us talking, because that's really what it comes down to, right? What do the TVs care about? What do the radio stations care about? What does the internet care about? Because that's what it is, right? Sports is a business, especially for the Cowboys. Who is going to keep us dialed in? Those are the three I'd probably go with.
What was your assessment of Mike McCarthy, and did you think they should have continued on with him?
I really don't think he got a fair shake. They kind of fumbled it, and they kind of bumbled it at the end, like they've been doing for the last 14 months. I think he deserved another opportunity, but it seems like, maybe from the outside looking in, that he wanted a longer deal. He wanted more security, and the Cowboys weren't really interested in kind of presenting that option to him. I don't feel like he really ever got a fair shake. But then again, he's a personality clash with Jerry. McCarthy's kind of that old school football coach that doesn't want the owner necessarily going on the radio multiple times during the week and saying things that then he has to answer about and becomes meddlesome. So I think, honestly, when McCarthy and the Cowboys parted ways, I felt good for McCarthy because I feel like he needs to go to a team that will empower him a little bit more and maybe not try to undermine him at every turn.
I think when Deebo Samuel first emerged, Jonah, everyone's like, we got to find the next Deebo. And everyone tried drafting the next Deebo, and it didn't really work out. I think now that Dan Campbell has emerged, everyone's like, okay, find the next Dan Campbell. Do you think that the next Dan Campbell, this is something Troy Aikman talked about in terms of this being a coveted job, do you think that would work here in Dallas, and do you think it's even possible to replicate that?
It's tricky. I think it's possible. I mean, what Dan Campbell's personality is, do you remember when he first got hired? We're all just kind of making fun of it from afar. We're like, who
bite
is
the
this
kneecaps.
guy? Yeah, biting kneecaps, and like he talks about drinking like a bajillion gallons of coffee a day. I'm like, who is this guy? But then you fast forward, and the locker room loves him. He is compelling, and maybe you don't have to have the most creative mind to be a head coach, because head coaches, for the most part, in most sports, are really just managing people. And so from that aspect, can you just find somebody that does it with passion and a fire? I don't see why that wouldn't work with the Cowboys. But again, it goes back to that whole ego thing, is you just got to always remember there's somebody above you who likes to talk to, and he's the one who pays your bills.
Jonah Javad, WFAA. We appreciate your time. You can follow him on the Twitter at Jonah Javad. You can follow him on the Facebook at facebook.com/JonahJavadTV. And I don't know your Instagram handle, but you have yourself a great time. Appreciate the plug that you just made for your TV with your coffee mug. That was good. It was good.
Thank you, man.
He's dismounting without saying bye. I like that.
You. Appreciate
He's
you.
going with the wink.
The wink.
I'd like to address DC Onion in the chat, if you don't mind.
Uh-oh.
These guys scared to say they was never rooting for Coach Prime. Wait, go back up. I couldn't see the rest of it. These whites lying to y'all. They hate brash blacks. I would just like to speak for the whites.
That's why.
I would just like to speak for the whites.
I thought you were a black man.
Well, yeah, but I can also speak for the
okay.
whites.
Okay.
I like Deion. He's fun. Deion cracks me up. But I bet there are whites that don't like him. There might even be some blacks that don't like him. But speaking for the whites, I think Deion's fun. I'm cheering for Deion. That's all. Is there anything that either of you would like to say for the black community to represent everyone? I did it for the white.
I'm gonna speak for the whites too.
Okay.
Can I speak for the whites?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I have a word with the whites?
Yeah, go ahead. What you got?
Nah, I don't got anything. I was
okay.
like, I want to be able to feel that privilege.
Yeah.
How'd it feel?
What does that privilege feel like?
What, the whiteness?
Yeah.
I actually, the part I liked best about it back in the day when I was playing travel flag football was I just felt like I could be a hero because I always drove. Because the rest of the team was not like me.
Right.
And so, like, I felt like I was doing my part to keep us safe.
You were like one of the guys like in the Underground Railroad that let us come.
I was like, I was white savior.
Yeah.
Spirit guide.
Well, we go
White spirit
savior.
guide.
Yeah.
I was a white assistant. You
got
were the safe white assistant.
All right. If anybody else in the chat would like to speak for their entire ethnicity on any topic, please fire in those chats. Hit the like button, and if you're here, make sure that you're subscribed. And coming up next, it's a mock
Let's
draft.
go speak for the Puerto Ricans.
Okay.
I got the quarter Mexicans for you coming up.
Can we do it like it? Was it the Chappelle show? We'll do it. We can do a race draft.
A race
debate
draft.
Who's eligible for which? Who gets
I'm
Patty?
down with Deion.
Yeah. Well, you're a black man. Of course you're down with Deion. I just wanted you to know
Down
that the
with
whites
Deion.
are okay too.
Give it a like.
Yeah, hit the like button. Hit the dislike button if you're pissed at me. Whatever makes you happy.
OC laughed at you. He laughed. DCO, he laughed at you.
See,
He enjoyed it.
I get people to come around.
We down with Deion.
Mock draft Thursdays next. If you guys are in the game and you know what's going on in draft world, who do you want the Cowboys to pick in the first round? We're going to play around with it next on the DLLS Cowboys podcast. But first, what are you guys writing about? Clarence, Joe, you guys writing about something sexy?
I'm writing about how the Cowboys trying to skirt the Rooney Rule.
Oh, are you speaking for
The blacks, the minorities.
And Joe, what are you doing for the quarter?
What the next head coach would like is their taco toppings. That's what I'm doing. No,
Okay.
I'm doing that. Their coaching
Fuel
search
City.
picture is coming more clear.
So, yeah, if you go to alldlls.com, we love everybody that's here. We love if you're in the chat. We love if you're hitting the like button, the subscribe button. All these things are good for the algorithm. The algorithm is important. We want YouTube to show our video to people. The way that it does that is if you're in the comments, if you're hitting the like button, if you're interacting with us and doing those things. I'll tell you that. We're trying to cheat the system. But if you want to step it up, sign up to be a diehard. If you do that, we have huge NFL draft plans that our diehards are going to have access to. Our buddy Fran Duffy in Philly is going to have a gigantic database that's already there, but continues to grow. And you can watch along as we rank players, and we can add things. People in different cities who have watched us guys can add things to it. You can watch us grow like a draft board and do the draft in that way. You'll have access to the premium written content from Joe and Clarence and people at every other sport that we have here at DLLS. You get a free t-shirt when you sign up to be a diehard. You get 20% off merch. You can get the hoodie that Clarence is wearing, 20% off that bad boy. You get discounts on events. You get access to our Discord lounge, all of these sweet things.
That he has Dorito crumbs on.
When you sign up to be a diehard. You ate Doritos in that?
Oh, what you got in the pocket?
What?
What you got in the pocket?
What is in your pocket?
What you got in the pocket?
What's in your
What you got in the pocket?
What's
Made a
in your
noise.
hoodie pocket?
What's in your hoodie pocket, bro?
Nothing's in my pocket.
Okay, food
One.
snacks.
There's more kids, more snacks. It's
One.
snacks.
That's
Two,
all.
3.
That's
No,
it.
it's not. It's
No,
more
I
in
see.
there.
There's
I
more.
see.
That's some corn, some lotion,
Okay,
some gum.
not
Come
food.
on,
Okay,
stop
okay.
it.
All right, just 3 snack foods.
I said snacks, no Doritos.
Let's knock out the super chats before we see if we can pull off a mock draft Thursday. What this team needs is a Brian Flores type, a culture changer, but Jerry ain't hiring no brother. That's from Drono. GM Ben, why does Pop have to crap on our dreams?
That's your boss.
I can see him doing that. Dro knows. Kellen has a take my lunch money face. That's what I'm saying. He kind of has a face that like gets bullied, and I don't want to, bullying's not cool, but he looks like he's probably running an errand for someone, and that's important. Andrew, is anyone else going to interview Kellen or just this joke of a franchise? Jerry don't care about winning, just making money. I'll spread that gospel. Hey, if all we care about is making money, let's go ahead and get Deion in here, baby. What is it?
Oh, he took your snacks.
boss
Ben.
That's what you get when
That's
you're
our boss.
That's our boss. He's taking his
He took your snacks.
How you gonna just,
There's more. There's more.
how you
He's
gonna
going to take them all.
You can't take
It's supposed to
snacks
be like,
from
it's supposed to
the
be like 1 or 2 per person.
from the snack snatcher.
They're like
Can't.
for everybody. Clarence just
Stop
makes him his
it.
personal stash.
We got plenty of snacks.
We have no idea how this is going to go. We're going to attempt to put something on the screen and see what happens. Oh, the snacks are coming back.
Oh,
Oh,
Bad hands.
Katya, give it a shot.
Hey, look at this.
So what we have here is a mock draft machine. I believe we are on Pro Football Network.
Pro Football Network.
Because I've done Pro Football Focuses about 172 times. If you want to see Jeff run through that, I did it last night on my own YouTube channel. You can check that out. We've selected that we are the Dallas Cowboys. We're only going to do one round, and I think that's all we got to do. Yeah, fire it off and see what happens. And then I can tell you, according to this one person, who I think is a first-round graded player, who I think the Cowboys could be choosing from, what that might look like when we get to the Dallas Cowboys.
We're to get some trade options here, too.
And you know that I will trade all the time.
Oh, we got a big one from the Eagles. Oh,
wow.
interdivision trade.
Not happening.
Yeah, we're hitting decline before we even know what.
No,
what
but
it
let's
offer.
take a second.
What?
Oh, Indianapolis is a nice
We
town.
go down 2. Well, how do you tell them? Hold on, I'll let you know. Hit the hide button. Hit the hide button. Hit the.
You know, you can do next.
We'll check. We'll check those in a second.
Who's available?
I'm trying to zoom my eyes in. So here's who's
Can't see
here's
them.
who's gone. Can you scroll up to number 1? Here's how it went. Travis Hunter's gone. Shadur Sanders is gone. Cam Ward is gone. That's all very realistic. Abdul Carter, that could very well be the first 4 gone. Ashton Genty went 5.
Whoa.
Will Johnson, the Michigan corner, goes 6. Mason Graham, the Michigan DT, goes 7. Nick Scorton, the Texas A&M pass rusher, goes 8. Michael Williams, Georgia edge rusher, 9. Tet McMillan, the receiver at Arizona, 10. And then Siobhan Ravel, the corner from East Carolina, goes 11. We're sitting here at 12. Boy, I got to tell you guys, we're in a good spot.
Great spot.
Luther Burden.
He's on the board.
Luther Burden's first-round receiver. If you want to know how Luther Burden plays football, just know that if the listings are correct, he's the exact same height and 6 pounds lighter than Deebo Samuel, and he plays kind of like Deebo Samuel.
What about James Pierce, a little edge rusher to pair with Micah Parsons?
James Pierce at Tennessee is one of those small edge rushers that's real. I get off the ball super fast. Watch me turn this corner. Malachi Starks is the best safety in the draft, and
Not
he
taking
can
a safety that high.
line up anywhere. Does it say everything?
What about
That's why we trade down, by the way.
what about that Georgia linebacker edge rusher? Is he still there?
Jalen
Walker's
Walker,
still there.
He should be.
Still
I
there.
hadn't heard his name.
Is 12 too high for him?
I don't think so. I don't think, not at all. You remember when we played?
What about those tackles?
And that's the thing.
Is Calvin Banks on
Not
the
a
board?
single offensive lineman went.
Calvin Banks is still
Banks
on the
is
board.
there to get from LSU's. Still.
And
Will
this is
Campbell's still there.
That's why we wanted to be at 12 and not like 17. That's why we wanted to lose games. Like the Cowboys will have
Good
in a
point.
scenario like this, I bet you at least 3 or 4 first-round graded players. And so if you want to, you could just stick and pick. But if you want to take advantage of the fact that you need a lot of things, you could also be like, hey, we could move back 4 or 5 spots. I bet you we still have a first-round graded player, and we've added a pick because we need 150 effing things.
If the board falls this way, you could trade back a couple picks. And I wouldn't trade far 2 back, though.
Like in this case, every offensive lineman's on the board. And I do wonder about that because I think that there are 3 offensive linemen that are worthy of being picked by the Cowboys with their first-round pick. Kelvin Banks at Texas, Will Campbell at LSU, and Josh Simmons at Ohio State. I think all 3 of them are worthy of being picked in that spot.
Is the Simmons guy with the knee situation?
Yeah,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
we'll find out at the combine. Like they'll be like, yeah, he's on schedule. He'll be ready for camp or not.
Also, comment what you would do right now in this situation. Put that in the comments.
And so I
Stick
would
and
have
pick, trade back.
I've got 2 first-round graded receivers, Luther Burden and Emeka Ibuka. I got 3 first-round graded offensive linemen that I already gave you, and Malachi Starks, the safety. That's 6. So I got 6 first-round dudes still available.
Team trade back.
Is a Booker that high? That's too high for Booker, right?
I'm not.
Here's where I get stuck. If you told me, like, if you asked, what is the percentage that Emeka Ibuka has a 10-year productive NFL career? I would say it's really high. You said, all right, do Luther Burden. I would say it's lower. And you say, okay, but if he's everything you think he could be, who's going to affect games more? Luther Burden. And, like, that's the hard part. Emeka Ibuka's finished product. Done deal. I know what he's going to do.
Okay, so
Luther Burden is potentially destroys your game plans every week.
So
potentially.
Can I ask you this? So when you're talking about wide receiver, we're always talking about pairing them with CeeDee Lamb.
This is a great point.
You feel what I'm
I
going?
feel where you're going with this, yeah.
Who is the best Batman? I mean, who's the best Robin? Who fits the situation where their skill set is best paired with CeeDee Lamb.
And this is why Abuka is so interesting, because he's never been the best receiver on his team.
No,
he's always been robbing.
He's never been the number one, but he also tends to play the slot and be their move around guy,
which is
also what CeeDee does. It's also what Luther Burden does. But part of me thinks that's just what you do with your best. Well, not your best guy, because at Ohio State, their best guy's not even Abuka. It's a true freshman.
Yeah. Jeremiah is more outside.
Jeremiah Smith would be, if they let him enter the draft, he's 19 years old. He's a true freshman at Ohio State. He would be the number one overall pick. That's how good he is.
So my question, because
neither one of them fits perfectly with CeeDee, would be my answer.
I think about, all right, let's just say for drafting's sake that Kellen Moore is your head coach.
Mm-hmm.
What I need in a Kellen Moore offense is, can a guy run really good routes? How can he separate? How can he get space in the confines of what this offense will look like? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think I like Emeka Egbuka a ton because I think he is incredibly smart. The details are money in the bank. Like, he is just consistent everything. Whereas Luther Burden is more wild card, but get the ball in his hands and watch
that
out.
part would excite me more for a pick that goes that now you pair with CeeDee Lamb, the guy who can be consistent, the guy who can go out there and do what you need him to do. Because you
think Dak is about that, like, I need you to be exactly where I think, exactly when I think.
That's what he needs.
Emeka Egbuka fits that perfectly.
That fits the profile of what Dak Prescott needs to be a good quarterback.
I want a big physical receiver.
And that is going to be a problem in the first round after Tet McMillan's gone. And I think that's also.
They haven't had a guy contested catch, big physical guy. I want something like that.
I think that is what elevates certain guys, because I don't.
You've been wanting that for a while.
I don't think in a vacuum that Tet McMillan is necessarily the best wide receiver prospect in the draft, or that he's like a super awesome. He might be T. Higgins. But I do think that the big X receiver has become harder to find, and that elevates them.
Interesting.
That when you're looking, like, a lot of people can win when you give them the easiest job on the field, right? When you become the move guy and you're the guy that I'm trying to get to a linebacker, or I'm trying to get over the middle, blah, 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 blah. And so I think there are guys like that in this draft, but I don't think there's any of them that are first round worthy other than the one that in this case is gone for us. And I do think I would feel really good about 3 of those offensive linemen, maybe better than about either of those receivers. But how much are we going to let what the Cowboys need weigh into what we do in the first round?
Yeah, and the fact that they've taken linemen, offensive, defensive linemen, the last 3 drafts.
Nesto said, we got Mingo, chill.
Yeah, we do have Mingo. We have Mingo and Turpin.
Could you do Calvin Banks
at home?
I would try my best to trade down in this.
Could you do Calvin Banks and then Matthew Golden in round 2? Is Matthew Golden going to be around in round 2?
Matthew Golden's a Texas receiver that declared the other day. And
2 Texas guys, by the way.
I don't know. I've seen different people say different things. I watched him, and I have him as my 6th best receiver, which would put him somewhere around the very top of the second round. And so if you could get him in the second round, I would think that would be badass. And I don't know if you could or not. So in this scenario, honestly, golly, I might want to take one of the offensive linemen. But can they?
Yeah. Sure they can.
Yeah.
Can they or will they? I mean,
I want to pick the best available player. And technically, for me, that would be Kelvin Banks Jr. I would be picking the Texas offensive line.
The problem with the Cowboys is that we talk about
how many first-round
attention getters. And Jared drafted a boring offensive lineman. You think he doesn't want to
but he drafted one
receiver right now?
Oh, I think he absolutely does.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I think the overwhelming favorite is Genty to be a Cowboy. I don't think he'll probably go top 5, but he could.
Yeah.
I think the overwhelming favorite is Genty. In this scenario, I would probably either trade down, or I would pick Kelvin Banks Jr. out of Texas.
Yeah,
and I would plug him at right guard. But the Cowboys might go to themselves, Brock played really well. We don't need to do that.
Right.
And we're not going to use back-to-back first-round picks on him to play left tackle. And so they might eliminate people that way. The Cowboys are at their very, very best when they pick the absolute best player.
Right.
I don't care what you need. We need a big run-stopping defensive end. Here's Taco Charlton. We need to stop the run with a big nose tackle. Here's Mozzie Smith. We need to replace Tyron Smith at left tackle. Here's a project left tackle. Okay. We need corners. Oh, no, the 2 that we really wanted, we lost them. What are we going to do now? Well, the best player available, we could trade back and still get him because we know the team's behind us. You got Micah Parsons. CeeDee Lamb fell in your lap. The best player, pick the best player. Don't let what you need screw up your ability to pick the best player. That's my rule number one.
Love it.
Pick Kelvin Banks Jr., plug him at guard, and enjoy that you get 30 straight years of Hall of Fame right guard play.
Who's playing left
Because
tackle?
you had Zach Martin.
Who's playing left tackle? Who's
I
playing
don't
left
know
tackle?
yet, and that's the hard part about the draft is when
Austin
you get
Richards.
that question, it's like, well, look, we got to figure that out. Like, we got free agency, we got traded, we got drafting. They're going to let Tyler Guyton take a shot at it. You know they are.
Awesome Richards.
And Awesome Richards will compete with him. Thanks for stopping by today. We love you guys all. Remember, you have no idea what anybody's going through, so be cool to everybody. We love you. Be easy.
Eliminate the contingencies.
We all silly like the mayor.